Hi, how y'all doing? What's the date today? March the 21st, 2025. Here in Ontario, Canada, the skies are blue. All right, it's been not the wind's cold out there, but it's been like, I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe 6 today. And then it goes back to the minuses tonight. The weather's wonky, isn't it? It is hot one day, cold the next. So, yeah, nothing new, exciting has happened in my life. My friend George came over yesterday. Well, I don't know if calling him a friend is the right thing to say. But yeah, he came over, talked to me for a little bit, needed help with his computer, so I called down my son. My son and him talked a long 3D conversation. Just, I just sat there, didn't say anything, just looked around kind of thing. I just let them tell each other lies. And then, yeah, he insulted me, right? Because I said about losing my voice. And he said, "Oh, I bet you a lot of people would like that." Right? That's an insult. So I was thinking, man, I gotta say something to him the next time I see him. If I see him. Right? I'm getting tired of it. The Schuman today was a 7-hour blackout and then to 76. Have you been feeling the energy today? I have. For the last 3 days, not including today, my ear has been ringing really loud all day and night. And today it stopped when I was sitting in the chair. About an hour or two after I woke up, I heard that one tone, that really loud whistle. And then I was like talking to myself about it, right? Because I'm God. And in my world, right? And it stopped and the ringing went away. My ears didn't ring, haven't rang since. So interesting. I wonder if that was a blackout period. It's hard to say. I don't know how to read his graph or graphs other than with the emotions, right? The colors. So that's just what that is. I know I don't have a lot to say today. I really don't. I've been feeling a lot of the frustration and anger. It seems like chaos in the consciousness. My son was really snippy today. He tried twice to get in an argument with me, and I just won't have it, right? I told him, don't talk to me with disrespecting words, right? I said, this conversation is here. I said, that's all I have to say about that. And he shut up. So pretty good, right? I could just hear the tone in people's voices today. The children playing outside, everything. It seems very agitated, right? But maybe that's the energy we're under right now. Because the sleepers don't know what the heck's going on. They think Trump's a tyrant and he's going to ruin the world. He's going to end the world. My buddy George said that yesterday too, right? And I was like, yeah, that's a good thing. That's what he's supposed to do, you know? But they don't get it. They got the job, right? No sense talking to sleepers about anything. You can't wake them up. You really can't. Ask me. I know. I've been trying for 5 years. They won't wake up. Whatever that job did to them, it stopped them from waking up. They only see the 3D, and they still haven't put that together, you know? If it was me, I'd be freaking out, but that's just me. I probably wouldn't have made it. That's why they wanted to force me to get it, which I didn't. Oh, uh, Mark Carney, the new Prime Minister of the Liberal of Canada, right? He's the head of the Liberal Party now. He took Trudeau's place, and now he's premier or whatever, Prime Minister of the government, right? Says he will call an election on the 28th of March. I think it's March, before the end of the month. And he's pretty sure he can get in, right? And I see the little short thing. I read a thing on the news thing on YouTube, and it said Trump says that he'd rather work with, it'd be easier to work with the liberals, a liberal government, than a progressive one, right? And I thought, hmm. And then there was a picture of Pierre Poilievre up there. Do you know what I mean? I was like, they're all in the same bed together, aren't they? Although the reverse of the conjure from the 1700s, when they signed the Declaration of Independence, or whatever the frig it is, the Constitution, maybe, I'm not sure, I can't remember, one of those things in the United States, Carney was one of the men that signed it too, right? Or was there and helped write it up. And I thought, well, this would be reversing that conjure, right? Because they just didn't split the United States, they split up Canada too, because it was it was North America. It wasn't the United States. I don't think of anything. It was North America, right? No borders, no lines, just territories. But yeah, this is interesting. I know how it's all going to play out, so I'm not concerned at all. Well, the end of it, I know how the end goes, right? Obviously, I've done this before, or I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have woken up to the spirit bell in 2020. You know? What's the spirit bell? Every night or every rising, while I was still sleeping, just before I woke, I would hear a bell go off 2 or 3 times. Ding, ding. And I'd wake up and think, what is that? I don't have a bell in my house that sounds like that. That's not an alarm. And I'd be looking around, and it happened every rising. And Rod Hayes says it's a spirit bell. So woke you up. All right, I was already awake, but it kept on doing it every rising for 2 years. Now when I wake up, I hear a sound, and it sounds like demolition or really heavy equipment. I can never make it out, but it sounds like, I was like, is that the garbage truck? What is that sound, right? It's a really loud sound. But when I wake up, there's nothing, right? So I was like, that's interesting. I wonder what that means. Destruction of the realm, of the old realm, you know? Because we were moving into the age of Aquarius, if we're not already started. And this is going to last. Everything got to be torn down, right? It's not just going to, like I told you before, like, it's going to, all the bad guys are going to be taken out of that, and put the good guys going to be put in and run it different, fair, just, right? There's another thing here in Canada. It says that the Canadian government are going to cull a whole bunch of experimental ostrich in Canada. And I was like, okay, so they must be geoengineered, right? GMO'd, because that's how they take that stuff out. If it's not by fire, and that's where the farmers, or whoever owns all the cattle or chickens, right? If something gets burnt down by fire, is so that the owners can collect the insurance, right? While they're destroying their GMO'd creatures. So yeah. So the Schuman was 13 yesterday. It's quite a thing. From 13 to 7-hour blackout, and then to 76. I've been feeling very body-wise. My bones been aching today. Very achy, right? Headache, pressure in my third eye, right? Tension in my leg. Not as bad as it can get. I haven't twisted yet. I shouldn't have said yet. But yeah, I haven't twisted. So just been really uncomfortable kind of thing. I laid down for a while, sit up, lay down, sit up, yawning. I wasn't tired, but then I was tired, but I couldn't go to sleep. So those were the Ascension symptoms, and the equinox, Happy New Year. The Those are symptoms from the equinox. I read something a friend shared on Facebook today, and it was all symptoms, right? Headache, bone ache, dizzy, nausea, all these different things, right? And heart palpitations, whatever. You name it, you got it. You name it, it's got it, right? And then it tells you what it's doing, right? In a spiritual sense, what's being elevated in you. Because we're still in the last quarter, right? Or are we in the last quarter yet? Let me check real quick here. Excuse me. I just had my dinner. My son just left to go to his girlfriend's. So I'm glad. Yeah, we're at last quarter. Did it start today? It started yesterday. Or else it's only a 3-day one. And it's about breathe and evaluate, elevate, right? So, yeah, we must need to stay grounded because the energy is really high and there's a plasma storm coming in that came off the sun. I wonder what kind of plasma. If it's the gamma rays to hulk us up or what, right? They got plasma in the phone. We got plasma. That's our blood, right? What did I read the other day? You know, they use melanin from the cells from melanated people, the blood from melanated people, to make computer chips? Is that sad or what? They've been experimenting with people since we began. Well, they already had that information if they spliced everybody together when the Anunnaki and all those people or beings came, you know. But I thought, yeah, all those aborted children, right? All that money they make off of that. Man, oh man. Right? Can you imagine? I'm sure it goes a lot deeper and darker than that, too, if you think about it. But I try to talk to my son about stuff, and he won't have anything about it, right? I try to talk to him. He said something about Diddy the other day. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, it was really unfair for this other rapper to narc on him and everything. And I was like, well, I don't think so, but I guess it's a thing. You don't want your friends ratting on you. You know who your real friend is and shit like that, right? And then I said, oh, I tried telling him about listening to that woman that was sex trafficked by them, right? And how they put her on, when they were all little, they put them on a board, a wheel, and spin it to see, you pay money to spin it to see which child you get, right? And how they involve animals in their bestiality with them and all kinds of, and he shut me. He was like, I don't want to talk about it. Why do you always have to bring this stuff up? Why do you have to take it so far? Right? Do you know what I mean? I was like, because you need to know about it. I said, what's that saying? When good men do nothing, evil wins or something like that. He's like, I don't care. I don't want to think about it. I said, well, it's all going to come out. And I shut up, right? Because you can't wake them up. They'll have a break and they'll go wacko. There's enough of them out there already. But this is the thinning of the herd or whatever, right? The separation of the two. So who can keep their sanity and who will lose it? That's what I'm thinking it's all about. The end times of the old regime, the old guard. Things are going to be wonderful. They really are in the new world, right? I know you can't see it, but it's already started. It'll come. We'll see it more. All right. It's bugging me how that light's shining on me right there. Keep on thinking something on me. All right. I went to sleep real fast last night. I woke up several times throughout the night. The other night I was dreaming. I threw my pillow off the side of the bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I looked, and it was too dark, and I was like, oh, I don't care. And I laid back down, went back to sleep. When I woke up in the rise, I was like, what the heck was I doing? That pillow never stays on my bed. It was in the chair. Right? I said, that was a weird dream. But yeah, I dream every night. All right, that's enough. Let's stay grounded, folks. Every day, I raise my vibration, my frequency higher than the day before. I am stronger than the day before. I love you also, consciousness. Enjoy this night or day. Okay? Okay. Bye.